All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and it has been a long time. I can't remember the last time I made a video on a sneak peek, but I absolutely had to do it for this one because, as you just saw, my girl Gwendolyn is getting tier 4 and a brand new uniform, and not just any uniform. We are getting Dark Gwenpool, the most diabolical supervillain in all of Marvel Comics. Listen, man, listen, if there's one person that's a bigger Deadpool fan than me, it's Gwenpool. So I am super happy to see this. I'm gonna be making not one, not two, not three, but 4 tier 4s this month because of Gwenpool getting tier 4. That's crazy. I literally did Psylocke, I did Hela, which I still mean to give you guys a video on, and obviously I did Deadpool, and Gwenpool has to follow. I was actually gonna do somebody else as my next speed tier 4, either Quicksilver or Angel, but regardless of what happens, I absolutely have to go with my girl because I absolutely love her, and she is becoming a super villain. Not just any super villain, but a speed super villain, and we are in desperate need of one of those because Mystique, I'm sorry, as much as I am a fan of Mystique, I will probably, I don't want to say never because they say never, but I will probably never tier 4 Mystique for the simple fact that she is not fun to play for me. Where the hell is she? She is somewhere here in my roster, but I'm so happy that I don't have to tier 4 her. This update is just turning out to be, honestly, one of the best updates in the history of Marvel Future Fight, right? They fixed Alliance Conquest, even though it's not perfect. They gave me a replacement for 2 characters that I wasn't really having fun playing with because Storm I no longer need to use. Granted, I was using a mixture of either Storm and Rogue, but now I only have to use 1 character instead of 2, frees up a bunch of Odin's blessings on my Storm, and I also get to stop using Cable because I honestly was not having fun using him. So it's just absolutely amazing what happened there. I'm just so sad that Dr. Doom didn't get the buff he deserved, and also, as good as Deadpool is for Alliance Conquest, he's not meta enough for timeline battles, so kind of sad about that. But on the plus side, I no longer have to consider tier 4 Mystique, discount or otherwise.
I will never play with you ever!
As you can see though, I was planning to tier 4 Invisible Woman if Gwenpool was skippable. And I say if because I love Gwenpool as a character. I always had a lot of fun using every iteration of Gwenpool. If you go check my channel, you'll see that when Gwenpool was in her base form, I made plenty of videos when possible with her. When she got her seasonal uniforms, as sad as those were, I still made videos on her, and this uniform right here was very strong and very fun. Granted, it was not as useful as it could have been because she didn't have a lot of crossover playability or usability or viability, whatever the word is, with Deadpool, and they made her with the intent of her being a support for Deadpool. However, on the plus side, she's getting released from the seasonal cash only approach that they've been going with for the past couple of years, so that's cool. But we got the holiday uniform and then followed by the April Fool's uniform, so happy to see that they're releasing the chokehold and making her free to play again, so that's dope. And better yet, she is becoming a super villain, which we are in desperate need of a speed super villain. Now I know I've been rambling and some of you guys may be wondering what the heck is going on. When is Gwenpool ever a super villain? So this is a Gwenpool from the future where she basically figures out that she's in a comic book, which obviously Gwenpool already knows, but she figures out the narrative of the story and she basically decides that everything is meaningless and she's just going to become a super villain. And in that timeline, she actually gets Miles Morales' parents killed by revealing his identity. Then villains obviously go after him, and in addition to that, she created a situation where we see one of the greatest battles between the superhero community of all time. I don't want to ruin the timeline for you, but if you're a Gwenpool fan, I highly recommend checking out Beyond the Fourth Wall. because you get to see Gwenpool like you've never seen her before. And by the way, for those of you guys who don't know how these things usually work, since we already had the mid-month patch and this is an additional patch, we're only going to get one character. It's only going to be tier 4 Gwenpool, and that's it. And in a week, they're going to start dropping sneak peeks. Then we're going to get the maintenance for the next update. Now, I got to say, I am really looking forward to seeing what they do for Gwenpool this time around, because she has a fantastic kit. She's relatively easy to use, so much so that I still keep her with a CTP of energy. Sure, you could occasionally miss your proc, I would say, in terms of proc friendliness. Right now, maybe she's an 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10 if you get used to using her. But I don't really care about that because she's going to become an ABX character. However, I would like it if they would give her iframe ignore on one of her skills, so that even though she becomes an ABX character, I can use her as a viable character for Alliance Conquest as well. And the reason why I say that is because if you take a look at her passives, bro, her passive is absolutely insane. 35% guaranteed dodge is nice, but she has a 100% chance to penetrate everything except shield. Okay, she can't go through shield, but the fact that she can penetrate super armor, damage immunity, and invincibility is insane. It's a 100% chance, so every single one of her skills will penetrate. That's crazy. There's no other character in the game that has that much penetration. And because of this insane passive, I always put her on a secondary team for Alliance Conquest, because of the fact that she has so many skills that have so many hits that they can just linger and kill enemies. But if she had iframe ignore on one of her skills with the new uniform, or better yet, immunity to guard break in the base kit as a part of the passive, woo, buddy, that would be absolutely amazing for me. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how they improve Gwenpool this time around, because every version of Gwenpool I've had fun with. So I don't expect to be disappointed. Usually I don't make sneak peek videos because I get hyped up, I hype people up, and then the update drops and we, you know, get Dr. Doomed, if you know what I mean, right? So I'm hoping that this isn't gonna be the case. Like, I really hope they deliver big time for Gwenpool so I can commit to my 4th tier 4 in a month, which is actually crazy to say, but there's a lot of catching up that I needed to do, so I'm happy about being able to catch up on some tier 4. So Netmarble, don't drop the ball on this one. Show some love to my girl Gwenpool, even though the uniform is going to be accessible to the free-to-play community for the first time in a long time. Listen, man, your boy's excited. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments.